When leaders give their all, organizations thrive. Rich Degner has given his all for over 35 years to help the pork industry become what it is today.
When I'm thinking Rich Degner, I think about the dedication and the honesty that he brought to the pork industry. I never seen a man work harder than Rich Degner when it come to Iowa pork producers.
Rich learned the value of hard work on his family's farm in northwest Iowa. He earned his Iowa FFA degree while president of his local chapter. Years later, Rich showed his gratitude when he and his wife Nancy donated 4 of her father's old tractors and 2 of their own to the Iowa FFA organization for restoration and a fundraiser. Following graduation from Iowa State University in 1972, Rich taught vocational ag, first in Rock Valley and later in Ankeny. Between the 2 positions, Rich worked at Iowa State University while earning his master's degree, as well as being a weekend farmer on Nancy's family farm. The farm recently was recognized by the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship and the Iowa Farm Bureau for being in the same family since 1854. Rich joined the Iowa Pork Producers Association in 1980 under the mentorship of Mike Telford and Don Gingerich. Over the next 35 years, Rich served in many roles, including as CEO for 17 years. Through the years, Rich worked tirelessly for the advancement of pork producers and the industry in Iowa and across the United States. His efforts on behalf of the pork industry included more than 30 trips to Japan.
There wasn't a job that he wasn't afraid to do, whether it was washing bean pans at the pork tent or whether it was visiting with the governor or a legislator. Rich always says, well, the pay's the same. It doesn't make any difference. He was always there to represent the pork industry and to represent pork producers.
In 1981, Rich helped create the Iowa Pork Tent at the Iowa State Fair. From its small beginnings, the Iowa Pork Tent is now a cornerstone of the fair and Iowa's pork industry.
It's the go-to place for a lot of legislators and a lot of people in the know. In 2015, with the political campaign, we had over 17 of the presidential candidates stop by the pork tent to either flip a pork chop or just for a photo op.
Rich also played a key role in expanding pork export markets, leading producers on more than 50 trade missions to over 20 countries.
The thing I remember the most about Rich is his dedication to expanding the pork industry and export markets, and how much he's worked to help export those markets. He's been dedicated for that for years.
During the farm crisis in the 1980s, Rich helped develop financial management tools for those facing foreclosure. He also led the Iowa Pork Producers Association in guiding producers to be in compliance with new regulations while modernizing their farms and propelling them into the future.
We were able to help fashion a regulatory approach that allowed the Iowa pork producers to modernize after being behind the curve, and other states were then feeling the regulatory pressures, and we had an environment in which our producers could move forward.
Believing strongly in solid science and research to support producers' needs, Rich fostered a growing relationship with Iowa State University and the pork industry.
Rich knew that the Department of Ag and Biosystems Engineering was very important to pork producers, not just in Iowa, but everywhere in the nation, and that ag engineers were engaged in critical issues.
Rich also developed a deep personal relationship with Iowa State, creating a scholarship endowment in the Animal Science Department with his wife, as well as making other contributions. Rich's philanthropy is an extension of his belief in the value of investing in others. In fact, Rich considers his greatest contribution to be involved in the lives of young people.
My biggest accomplishment at Iowa Pork, I believe, is being able to hire good young people out of college. I had, over some years, I had some people explain to me that I was foolish in hiring people right out of college, that I needed to go get some more experienced people. And probably it's just my background of having been a VOAG teacher, that I was certainly willing to go hire some good young people out of college.
Since retiring, Rich and Nancy look forward to continuing their tradition of annual winter vacations to the mountains with their son, Chris.
Thanks for being a wonderful leader in the pork industry. Thank you for your passion, for your dedication. Thanks for being a wonderful coworker, for being a wonderful boss, and most of all, thanks for being a great friend.
Thank you, Rich, for serving the pork industry so well for so long in such unselfish ways. We owe you a debt of gratitude that pork producers can never repay.